If you want to be a trader or you're curious about what happens on a trading floor, keep on watching because I'm going to give you all the details on what it's actually like. For the past 5 years, I worked on the trading floor at an investment bank, but there were aspects of the job that I wasn't prepared for. So today I'm going to share with you everything that I loved about working in sales and trading, what I didn't like as much, and ultimately my advice for anyone who's considering this career path. Okay, let's start off strong with the pros. What did I like about working in sales and trading? If you've ever seen movies with these chaotic scenes filled with men wearing suits and yelling at the phones and at each other, I'll tell you now, it has looked a little bit different since then. Today, most trading is done electronically, which means more people are looking at their screens. Despite this, the trading floor still has this buzzing energy where everyone is fully immersed in their work. And personally, I found this really exciting and motivating, especially when I first started. So why is a trading floor truly unlike any other office setting? Well, it is so fast-paced, where big trades are being executed every second. The person sitting next to you could have just bought $10 million worth of bonds, while the person sitting at the foreign exchange desk over there just sold $250 million worth of Japanese yen. And that brings me to my next point, which is you get to work with very smart and sharp people. Some of them have spent their entire careers trading the same product, making them experts in their field. So the trading floor is almost like a gold mine where you get to learn from experts who have navigated many major business cycle events and market volatility. And lastly, let's talk about the perks and compensation, which are definitely appealing aspects of this job. New grads will typically make over 6 figures in their first year, which includes a base salary and a bonus. And this amount will eventually increase based on performance and promotions. I'll be honest, this was a big factor for me. It's nice not having to worry about expenses and have the financial freedom to buy nicer things for yourself, especially when you're just starting out in your career. However, the hiring process is quite competitive. I received my full-time offer after I completed my summer internship following my 3rd year of college. Banks typically receive thousands of applications every year for their summer internships, and my company usually selected 10 to 15 people for the final positions. This means that the interview process can be pretty long because they need to narrow down on the large pool of candidates. Now, about those perks that I mentioned. Because this is a client-facing role, we often took our clients out to nice dinners, sports games, and concerts. This means that you'll get to go to fancy restaurants, order nice bottles of wine, and sit in the box seats at stadiums. And you'll get to do these things usually within the first year when you start your job, unlike most positions where you have to wait until you're more senior in your role. Additionally, you will sometimes travel to meet with international clients and attend conferences. And all of these expenses are paid for on the company's credit card. So for many people, this aspect of the job feels glamorous and exciting. However, this is where I think it's important to address the not so great parts of the job. And I want to be fully transparent based on my own experience. The first is the lack of work-life balance. You will work longer hours, especially early mornings. So I usually got into the office by 6:30 in the morning, and if I didn't have any client events, I wrapped up before 6 p.m. So that's about 12 hours on a good day. However, most weeks you'll have at least one night where you're out with clients, drinking and going to events. And during busy periods of the year, like the holidays or the summertime, you could have events almost every night of the week. And these nights will usually go pretty late until 10 p.m., midnight, or even later. So if you do the math, getting enough sleep can be a little challenging, and waking up the next morning is not fun. So I constantly felt exhausted, and I would look forward to the weekends just to catch up on my sleep. In addition to the longer hours, there is also less flexibility in your work schedule. Most of these jobs will require you to monitor the market movements because the prices move fast, and you have to stay alert and be ready to trade at all times. This means that you're pretty chained to your desk where you will eat your breakfast and your lunch there. And if you need to step away to go to the bathroom or grab coffee, it's best to do so to wait until the market slows so that you don't miss any trading activity. So as you can imagine, not getting many breaks throughout the day can make you feel really drained both mentally and physically. And this brings me to my next point, which is this job is more stressful than most 9-to-5 roles. It's hard to fully relax even when you're not working because the markets operate globally. You need to stay on top of current events as they happen worldwide, because one thing happening in one market will impact the others, and it's very likely that it could impact your current trading positions and how you should approach or change your strategy going forward. So depending on the role, some of these will require you to be available outside of working hours, just in case there is an unexpected trade that you need to do in the middle of the night due to crazy market conditions. Another source of stress is the very little room for error. A single mistake can easily cost thousands of dollars and, in some cases, up to millions. You have dozens of decision points every day, and often they will come at the same time, which means lots of chances to screw up. Although I wasn't in a position where I was taking on that much risk yet, let's just say that I've had my fair share of stress-related breakdowns. So it doesn't matter if you only got 5 hours of sleep. You need to make sure that you don't make any typos or add an extra zero, because those seemingly small trade mistakes will not only impact your own performance, but also your team's, and not to mention the reputation of your firm. And finally, I think it's important to acknowledge that this is still a male-dominated industry, which I still found challenging at times. I was one of only 2 women on my team, and don't get me wrong, I loved my group and I worked with great people, but it was tough finding the right balance. Sometimes I felt the pressure to fit in as one of the guys while still behaving like a woman. And I think this reflects the current reality of the finance industry. Despite more women entering this field, for now, most of your clients and your coworkers will still be men. And when it comes to team dynamics and building relationships with your clients, I saw that they will often bond more easily and form stronger connections due to their relatability. So personally, I constantly felt the need to prove myself and exceed expectations out of the fear of being labeled the diversity hire. But you know what? This pressure also served as a powerful motivator that drove my performance over the past 5 years. So, after exploring the pros and the cons, this leads to the final question: should you work in this job? The short answer is, it depends. This could be a great career path for you if you're genuinely passionate about the markets, you're ready to thrive in a high pressure and fast-paced environment, and you're willing to give up some of that work-life balance and flexibility. However, I will say it's really important to evaluate your long-term plans and your goals, because as you advance in this career, the long number of hours you work will still remain the same. So you will still have those early mornings and late night events, which actually become even more critical for you to attend as you progress into higher roles. I still believe that this is an amazing career with so many growth opportunities, and I know many people who love it. So it really just comes down to personal preference. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to check out my video here, where I share the most effective changes that you can make to prioritize your health while you're working a demanding job. And these were the exact same things that I did over the last 5 years. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.